couple of hours after his confirmation by the Nigerian Senate, the newly appointed Minister of Defense, General Christopher Musa, has issued a strong directive. Sounds like shoot at sight, but I'll give you a breakdown. He has issued a directive telling deployed soldiers that they are free to shoot on sight when confronted or confronting armed bandits. So if they are armed, you shoot. That is the order that he issued just a few hours after being confirmed by the Senate. Good times for Nigerian people, not so good times. Let's hear what the people think. By the people, I mean Mr. Philip and Mr. Peter. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Why would I acknowledge him first?
We brought this on air.
Sure. Mr. Peter first, then Philip.
Mr. Peter and Mr. Philip.
Thank you.
What it is?
The giggle is your giggle. Like it's cost a lot of joy.
That's how it should be.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Is this an issue of never mind. Let's move on to bigger issues. What is going on right now? Are you pleased that this is the first directive he's given? Is he is he making us feel more trust towards him? How do you feel about this directive?
I won't call it a directive. They asked him a question during his ministerial clearance at the Senate, and he answered them. For me, that's all he ought to be. Why would you be faced with a bandit and you waiting for an order from who there is not faced with that threat before you act? That's being foolish. That's being stupid. That's being ceding your life to what is not worth it. It's like you have a training. Let that training activate itself. You are faced with a threat. What do you just say as a military officer? Neutralize that threat. You shouldn't allow that threat to consume you. So the days are gone that we hear that information of banditry happening somewhere and there is an army settlement close by. You're waiting for an order from someone that is in Abuja to ask you to act. No, see, those days are gone. If you see a threat, go after it, neutralize it. For me,
now, Philip, we've seen things like this in Hollywood movies where an arrest is about to be made, and the moment you notice the person is armed, it doesn't matter if it's a gun or a knife. So far, you consider that it could cause harm to either himself or another person. You shoot them once they are, once they've shown that they are a threat, right? Do you think that this directive will change the dynamics in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria?
Thank you very much for having me on this discussion. You see, what we have
for the record, this is the first time Philip is thanking me for having him on a discussion.
Well, part of it. We grew up every day. So now, the issue beforehand is very clear and very important, because when we say put a square peg in a square hole, this is what we are advocating. A man who knows why he is in office. The reason why you have the Ministry of Defense is to ensure the security of lives and properties. The law is very clear that when a man is armed, you are supposed to subject him with a higher arm. So therefore, if the military who are dispatched to a battlefield, what was it? You've already had instruction before going to your instruction of going to the battlefield is to go and clear that criminal element that are in that field, so that the place can be safe for the people. Not when you get there, you have to wait for a further directive until you are consumed by the criminal you are supposed to clear. This is what it means to have a square hole in a square peg in a square hole. Even before the man, resume work, he has shown that he has the capacity. He knows what he is going into, and he knows what is expected of him. And that's what he has told to the Senate. And that is the directive he has given. He has said that, look, the military men, they are not meant to be on the roadblock. The roadblock are meant for police and civil defense officers. The military are meant to go to the forest and clear the forest of the criminal element called themselves bandits and terrorists. And that is where their position is. And that is what is going to happen under his watch, under his leadership. This is what he's going to do. Because what is the training of an army? Is to fight. So why go to a battlefield and waiting for instruction from the office? Is the office being confronted with what is happening in the field? No. So I think this is the beginning of good things to happen. But these things are happening because the neck of Donald Trump is on Tinubu, according to Godswill Akpabio, the president of the Senate. He said it yesterday during the screening that because what happened, the normal way of Nigeria doing things is sacrificing and bootlicking. A senator from Niger State rose up to say that the nominated Minister of Defense should take a bow and leave. And the senator from Kebbi stood up and opposed it. And Akpabio, that was why Akpabio said, look, we can't afford to do that now because the American president leg is on our neck.
Yes.
We need to do the proper thing. We need to examine this man.
How do you feel about that? Given that they know what to do, but they are waiting to be supervised like secondary school kids.
That's why I said in the previous edition that look, we do no more have a country. Because we have a country, we wait for external force before those who are in charge of our helm of our affair we take a decision that is suspended of them. Because how would you judge a senate that the entire people that come for screen that are in the office now, they were not screened, where you have a youth copper was cleared until he was cleared and sworn in as a minister before people raise alarm that this lady is still serving Nigeria as a youth copper. How can he be a minister? And they rose up to her defense.
Philip, you're not even seeing danger in it. That's what the Senate president invited to Nigerians. So if Trump hadn't put his neck on Nigeria's neck, we wouldn't have asked him to do what he ought to do. Why would he bring a minister for ministerial clearing? The person will not stand and answer questions. You bring somebody to serve us as Minister of Economics, and we don't even know the person. We can't ask questions to know the person.
They will tell you that the ministerial office is mere supervisory role, that anybody can be minister of anything.
Well,
but it's not so.
Let's hear the person. Let's know what the person is.
Here's my question. To that, about that. Where did we get the mindset that a ministerial position is just, a position that anybody could cover at any point, and it's just supervisory? Where did we get it? Why has it stayed?
That's why you can have any Dick and Harry to become minister of defense. For instance, Matawala, who is he? I heard that his highest educational qualification is a school start holder. He was a teacher and then he went to the civil service.
Now, don't we think this is also a constitutional problem? Being that the Nigerian constitution, the number one person in Nigeria can end up being a president with a school living certificate.
I don't think so.
Don't we think it's also a constitutional problem? Don't you think there's a problem from the root?
No, I see that's what you see. The problem is this: the person who is elected is different from those who run administration. If you understand clearly,
that's what I was going to.
The purpose of the president having elected is to pick those who are capable. That's why you have technocrats to come and map various offices, and that's what has just happened in the case of General Musa, Christopher Musa. It's a man with a clear credentials, a clear record of who has the knowledge and understanding of security. He's been all his life in the army. He has spent 34 years in the army, went through NDA, and he
rose through the rank.
And he has passed went through so many courses, and he has been satisfied. This is what governance means. When you even elect a person who does not school start as a president, his ability to pick the right persons in the country, because you have them all over the country, to man the various portfolio, to achieve the result, those promises he made for you to keep them. He needs these people and not political patronage.
Let me take. Peter seems to have something to add on this. Let's go.
See, the issue, I don't have a problem with president nominating whoever he wants to nominate. That's why we need an independent house. If you have a functional Senate, we'll screen you. Yes, you came for president. We'll ask you questions. We'll see what they are qualified to do the work. We're elected to do this. So what you have in Nigeria is a Senate that doesn't work. There's an appendix of the presidency. In person like Matawale, why didn't they ask a question? What do you know about security? Why will you occupy these positions? Most those questions, they never arrive. Nobody asked those questions. They will just say bow and go. Mostly all former governors. Once you come to Senate screening, bow and go. What is bow and go? You can't hit some sensitive. Yes, if you just some ministerial appointment that doesn't hold weight, yes, you can. But not like security, economy. You should come and tell us what you intend doing. You like so like agriculture? No, we should know you.
Now, I
we should
want to
have capability.
Yeah, I want to ask a final question, and I want both of your intakes on it before we call it a wrap on the program this morning. There's the issue of human right abuse. You know, the military now going ahead to abuse this power and come up with situations and say, oh no, I thought it was a Fulani terrorist, or I thought it was a bandit, and I just decided to shoot them on sight. How do we bridge the gap? How do we balance, this directive that has been given to them versus how they would actually use it? Because we have seen that the Nigerian military, they have the tendencies of abusing power. How do we make sure that this is not abused?
Thank you. For me, yes, addressing those things. We don't need the Nigerian military on our streets. They are not trained for that. They're not police. They are meant to fight insurgency, fight wars. They're not meant to keep peace in the city. So that's why when you travel on the road, you get to a military checkpoint that is being manned by the army, a soldier. Most of them ask you to come down. You don't make calls. That is their training. Get them to focus on what they are trained for, to secure our sovereignty, to secure our territories. Move them to go and fight Boko Haram. If it means them not obey human rights to Boko Haram, does Boko Haram obey human rights? Do they care about us? So they should go and do it there, not on the Nigerian street. I remember just before I go, just a few weeks ago, I think somewhere in Anambra, a number officer, the bishop there, messed up a reverend father. Because he is used to that. That is how they are trained to confront issues. They see everything as a fight. So he saw a threat. He wanted to neutralize it. So let them go and neutralize those threats in the bush, in the Nigerian bushes.
All right then.
Yeah, you see, the issue of human rights abuse does not arise in any way from these directives, because the directive is very clear. It's unambiguous. You go to the battlefield and eliminate the bandit. Shoot the bandit on sight. It's not shoot Nigeria on sight. So where are they being deployed to? It is when you are deployed to that trouble area, that trouble bush. Don't wait for further directive, because by way of deploying you, you will already be giving directive. So it's clear. You see, that's why it's removing the military from checkpoints, because that's not where the threat is. It is in the bush. So the issue of if they would not abuse this right, they would not this directive, it does not arise.
That gave me joy. You end up with, they said, we can win this war. There's a man of authority. He said,
we're looking forward to seeing that we can win the war.
I believe him.
Well, I like that you believe him. Myself, I am still very skeptical. I wait until anybody in a position of power in Nigeria proves that they can do anything they say they will. You want to blame me? Feel free to do so. I will stand on it. The day they change my mind, I will gladly change it. It's not a position I want to take. Thank you so much for shedding light on this very important development. Well, we'll keep following the story as it unfolds. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And remember, like I always say, we don't have a leadership problem in this country. We have a people problem. You want to fix the leadership? Start by fixing the people yourself. Have a beautiful